Hello everyone, I'm Xiaogang. Okay, now let's actually start working on our Evader Intel project. First of all, we definitely need to print a log, right? It seems we haven't defined a log for this yet. Did we write a static way to define the log? Right, we can use this static method to define the log. Let's see how we define this log. It should be defined like this. Let's put it here. It should have a static suffix. We demonstrated this in the standalone program earlier. Let's look for it again. We found it. This is it. Let's copy it over. Then we'll use display and all. Okay. After writing it, we can use this log. Then we put this log here to indicate that we are officially starting this one-step time task. And here, let's first define a URL. We might need to use this URL. Then let's switch here, because we might have many URLs. Right, let's put this lifetime here. Okay, if it's this time URL, if it's this local one, let's take a look. We'll ignore local for now. If it's Taobao, we write this URL here. We will use this URL. If it's local, we leave it empty. Okay, how do we proceed later? We might need to write a. We haven't written this method yet. As for this method, we'll keep it simple here. We'll just use HTTP. Just specify a URL. Because it's the simplest HTTP. Then our HTTP. We didn't do further packaging. Let's first write the simplest method. Because in these few lessons, we'll finish writing the local part first. Because the local part is simpler. So our HTTP, we've got our main loop sorted out. Okay, then here we continue to extend to HTTP. Put this URL here. Let's make an if judgment here. If this URL is not empty. If it's not empty, we'll just let it access this URL directly, then we let it return. If it's empty, it means we're going local, or there's some strange issue. Again, we will get a local time. Let's first click on FHttpModule, and here we have a now. Okay, that's the current time. We give it a variable type. Okay, after we have this time, now we just need to call this execution pin and pay attention to the writing of this execution pin. It should be a style designed by Xiaogang himself. We let it execute with a frame offset. Why offset the frame? It's because I wanted to execute one frame later. To avoid some. Because if you don't miss a frame, if it sends this request to you at that frame, then you might. This will create a very strange, which is sending a request within a request, adding elements within the host. This kind of situation, and this error correction is also relatively simple. We just copy it over. And actually, let's first copy this delegate. Copy this delegate, which is the delegate of this type. The first one is success. The second one is failure. Copy the delegate behind. Then we just need to pass this information in. Then we need to change this prefix. I copied this from another project. There's a prefix. Okay. Then on the next frame, execute this delegate on the main thread. That way, calling this method will work. Then we'll just call the empty slot directly. And obviously, we can directly access this SIG ID because we are within an instance and our result is true. Then we can give it a simple log with local time. As for this object, we need to construct a respired info. So this respired info, we haven't filled in the data yet, right? Now let's define the format for this data. Let's define the format for it. As for this time, how do we define it? I'll call it over here. So this is our Beijing time, and this is the UTC data time. We haven't used this data yet. Let's comment it out for now. Okay, we don't have this original information either, because these are transmitted over the network. The last two fields are actually network related, so they are not present. But for consistency, we still keep them here. If it's network based, these few fields are meaningless. Then we copy this time. Obviously, here we take the screen time. This UTC time, we copy the UTC time. We don't need to copy it that way. We'll just copy it directly here. We can just copy it directly from above. Okay, the writing here is actually being improved as well, because I know this place is Beijing. So we can directly set it to Beijing's. We give it a UTC. Okay, no problem. Then we don't need this. Then we pass this object out. So this local time, this retrieval is now complete. But note that if it is local time, actually, we still need to write something here. Called releasing this resource, we call it release resource. This is also a standard writing style of Xiaogang. This is fine. You can refer to my design here. Many of our subsequent lessons are based on this design. I must have written tens of thousands of lines of code for this design. There are no resources to reclaim here. Actually, we just need to let it restore. Here we code on source 6, then we can reclaim this resource here. As for reclaiming this resource, you can do it like this. Copy these 3 delegates over. Actually, it's fine if you don't do this. Clear. We'll take you through clear. And then, because of these parts, we extract them. Actually, when this object is acquired, it also has placement is manual. I like to do it this way. We'll give it a long here. Long. Don't give it this long. Okay, then just clean up the resources here. Obviously, you need to, after success here, you need to release the resources. Then when you acquire it, you need to release the resources, right? Just make sure the resources are released, okay? Okay then. Now let's test it. Let's see if we can get this local time. We haven't written the network part yet. For now, we've only written the local time framework. Okay, we need to open this and call it. I need to call a string concatenation, because writing the string concatenation is quite troublesome. Then we come to this side. Obviously, this is at the next frame. I'll drag it over here at the next frame. In this frame, we can get valid data. And note here, if your blueprint code, if you are using the same engine version, you can of course copy and paste freely. But if you are moving from a higher engine version to a lower one, your connections will break when you paste. That's the situation. And if you are moving from a lower engine version to a higher one, most of the time pasting works fine. Look, I pasted it here. Actually, it's right here. Let's set a breakpoint. Then for this time, we can just use Beijing time. Actually, we can also print another time. So here, let's print the other time, the UTC time for everyone. Then here, we remove this dot. Then here we print, put it here. We also zero this out. Okay, next we will zero out the Beijing time and UTC time respectively. So the first one we zero out is Beijing time. Beijing time is the time we commonly use locally. UTC time is converted from this time. Okay, no problem. We press 1. Then you will see there is an 8-hour time difference between these two times. The first time is clearly correct. It's our local time, 1:11:22. And the second time is obviously the one with the 8-hour time difference. And because UTC time is used a lot, so everyone needs to pay attention to this. Let me take a look. So basically we finished explaining how to get the local time. This process is perfect. Okay, good. Thank you everyone. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, share, and support the Mingjing and Diandian program.